Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm talking about ways that you can save money at the grocery store. True story, the other day I went to the grocery store for sushi on sale, $5 Sushi Wednesday, and what did I end up coming back with? I came back with 3 bottles of wine on sale, 2 dozen jalapeno poppers, and a bag of tamarind pulp candy. Did I intend to buy any of these things? No, I didn't. But the lure of a sale at the store got me in there, and without a plan or a list, I just kind of went crazy because I was hungry at lunchtime and bought too many nonsense items. Has that ever happened to you? Hi, I'm Sandra Park, and I'm an engineer of over 20 years and a financial coach for women in STEM. I help women in STEM control their money so their money doesn't control them. On this channel, I talk about everything from building a budget to building wealth so that women in STEM can engineer their own futures. Today, I'm going to share 11 tips to help you save money at the grocery store. Number 1, I alluded to this in the intro, it's meal planning. For some of you that may not be very consistent about cooking or the best cooks, this might sound daunting to you. But I encourage you to start off with maybe 2 or 3 meals to meal plan for the week. It will take some level of practice and expertise to where you can meal plan breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. But a good start is 2 to 3 big meals for the week. If you cook larger portions, you'll have some leftovers for subsequent meals. Like anything in life, when you go to the store hungry, cranky, tired from work, without a plan, what do you expect will happen? Overspending, impulse spending, all the sales, all the new tasty items that you didn't even know existed, but now you want because you see them in the store are calling at you. And this goes hand in hand with the next tip. Number 2 is shop with a list. A grocery list is basically a budget for your food. And hand in hand with meal planning, once you have a plan of some meals that you want to cook for the week, that will help you detail out a grocery list of ingredients. When you go with a plan and you actually stick with it, this is the other tough part. It's easy to make a grocery list, but hard to stick to it. I've had that challenge too when I go to the grocery store, when I have my list and I saw the Coca-Cola Oreos one time and I was tempted to buy them, but I didn't even know they existed before I even walked in the store. So why would I even buy them? It's not really necessary for my weekly food budget. It's just a plan to help you stick with the intention of this grocery trip. Try it and see how much you save. Number 3 is shop your own pantry and fridge. I love doing this because I feel like I'm shopping my own house. If you're like me, you probably have a lot of ingredients or random ingredients in your pantry, refrigerator, or freezer that you're not fully utilizing. The other week, I realized I had 3 different bags of opened tortilla chips. Of course, I had no salsa or anything else to eat the chips with. So I Googled recipes using tortilla chips, and I found a tasty taco casserole that I'm going to try baking this week, where the foundation of the casserole is tortilla chips. Also, when you shop around your house, you get inspiration for recipes. Another example was I had a jar of Thai green curry sauce. Now that's gonna go with some chicken that's defrosting, some potatoes, onions, carrots. I'll make a really good chicken curry. I have some rice that I can cook on the side to go with that. If you're ever stuck, use ChatGPT or the internet and ask it, if I have these ingredients, what can I make with it? Number 4, I'm also very guilty of this, and I've gotten better about this over the years, is buy ingredients that can be used in multiple meals. If you've ever been guilty of buying a specialty ingredient or an ingredient that you don't use very often in a lot of recipes, then next week you see that ingredient sitting in your fridge and now it's expiring. One example for me is dairy products, because I'll need half and half or maybe heavy cream for a recipe, but since I don't use it all that much, I try to craft certain recipes around having certain ingredients. If I have a tub of sour cream and I'm using it for a Mexican type of dish, then I think, what else can I use that sour cream for? Now I'm gonna probably bake some muffins that use the sour cream, or some type of pasta sauce where the sour cream can be the creamy ingredient. So think about these ingredients that expire very quickly and how can you use them in multiple recipes so they don't go to waste and you have to throw them out. Number 5 is buy in season. Not only does your produce taste better when you buy it in season, it's cheaper. I know it's tempting to want to buy certain fruits when they're out of season. I mean, who doesn't want watermelon in December? But think about how it doesn't naturally grow in that season. And there's a cost to having it at that time of year. In addition to, it's probably not as tasty when you're buying it out of season. Number 6 is keep your meals simple. This might be very easy for me because I'm not the type of person to cook for hours and hours. I like quick, simple meals. But oftentimes I find that when people say they're spending a lot on groceries, they're trying to create these very elaborate 3-5 course type of meals. If you break it down to, you need a protein, veggie, grain, if you're eating grains, or carb or whatever that is, or maybe it's protein and 2 veggies. It makes the meal so much more simpler. Really, you can have some fancy meals from time to time. They just get more expensive. It takes more time. If you're just trying to get everyone fed, simple gets the job done too. Number 7 is to cut back on prepackaged and prepared foods. Have you ever looked at your shopping cart and counted up how many snacks and prepackaged items and ice cream and desserts and all those items, if you took them off, how much less your grocery bill would be? These are, of course, nice occasional treats or matters of convenience from time to time, but remember that to truly get fed, you don't need all of those every single week. Number 8 is analyzing the frequency of your grocery trips. This is also about knowing yourself. I wouldn't give this as a blanket tip for everyone, but notice how many times you are going to the grocery store. If you are the type of person that every time you go, you can't spend less than $100 and you're trying to stick to a certain grocery budget, you might reduce the number of grocery trips. I know it's kind of just a mind trick on you, really. But I'm that type of person too. When I go to the grocery store and I intend to buy 1 or 2 ingredients, especially when I don't go with a shopping list, then I end up spending more than I intended. Another way to combat that is sometimes I just say, well, I'm not going to go to the grocery store until 7 days out or 5 days out, giving myself a goal of that. Remember, this doesn't work for every single person, but it's more about analyzing your habits and behavior. If you're budgeting and tracking your expenses, this is something easy to see and to learn about yourself. Number 9 is challenge yourself to small budget cuts. What I find with some of my clients is they'll see how much they spend on their groceries per month, and they're very eager to slash it in half or very drastically by 75%. I don't think this realistically works for a lot of people, because to be honest, it's like if you want to run a marathon, would you go run 13 miles the next day if you're training for a marathon? You start off by walking or by even running a mile. And it's these baby steps that will create more lasting changes. So what I suggest to some clients is start off by cutting out a certain amount of every grocery trip. So let's say you go to the grocery store 4 times a month. If you cut out $25 on each grocery trip, that will amount to $100 of savings for the entire month. Once you master that and you kind of see that win in your grocery budget and you see the money in your budget that you can allocate to other places, then maybe next month you can challenge yourself to, let me try to reduce this grocery trip by $50. And over time, over months and months, you can reduce your grocery bill down to a sustainable amount. I personally used to spend quite a bit on takeout and the grocery store. Just by tracking and budgeting, I've very consistently over the years know my grocery budget down to the dollar. Number 10 is meal prepping and eating those leftovers. And this isn't for everyone because everyone isn't a leftover eater. But for a lot of people, if you can spend some time batch cooking and meal prepping on certain days, and then now you have 3 or 4 or 5 servings of this dish and now it's ready, not only does it save you time, it's saving money, and you're actually using up all the food that you bought. Number 11 is buying things that are on sale. So don't get tempted by necessarily what's on sale, but if you can, let's say you see Italian sausage is on sale, then maybe you're thinking, oh, I will craft some recipes around using Italian sausage because it's on sale. Don't forget, you can also freeze items, right? So if you saw a good sale on Italian sausage, you could go freeze the other packages and use them another time. Okay, this is my final challenge for you guys, because I know I went through a lot of tips, and like I said, you're gonna have to pick and choose which ones actually work for you and help you save money on your groceries. But if I had to pick only 2 of them out of this list, these are the 2 that I would do. And this is a challenge for you to try if you don't believe you can save money at the grocery store. Number 1 is meal planning. And like I said, if you're not a consistent cooker or consistent at cooking, just meal planning 2 to 3 meals a week is a game changer. And that flows into the next tip, which is having a shopping list. So those 2 go hand in hand. Plan some meals out and then craft a shopping list off of it. Actually use the shopping list when you go to the grocery store. You're not gonna buy anything that's not on that shopping list. Just try it for 1 trip and see if you save money. I bet you will. Every time I do this, I save money when I'm buying my groceries, so it truly works. Let me know in the comments which one of these tips that you already do. If you have some other additional ones, I'd love to hear them in the comments and get everyone talking about how they can save money at the grocery store. If you found this helpful, if you like or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.